Your grandfather would have understood every single system in this video, not because he was brilliant, but because the core logic behind moving freight across a continent, or restocking 10,000 stores overnight, or keeping the lights on across a dozen states is the same logic he used to run a farm. One input, one output, don't let the line back up. We've buried that simplicity under 100 layers of branding and complexity, but strip it away and you're looking at 19th century principles with better equipment. Here are 15 American systems built to handle millions and why they almost never fail. Number 1, Interstate Highway System. In 1956, Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, and nobody appointed a director. No one runs the interstate system today either, and it still moves 11 billion tons of freight a year. That's not an accident, that's the design. Every traffic engineer who hears that for the first time assumes there's a control room somewhere. There isn't. The system runs on the same rule your grandfather used at every four-way stop. Cloverleaf, interchanges kill left-turn conflicts. On-ramps run long enough that a truck matches highway speed before merging. Those decisions got made once in the 1950s and got poured into every mile of concrete that followed. Number 2, big box retail distribution networks. A Walmart distribution center covers about 1.2 million square feet and turns over its entire inventory every 48 hours, not weekly, every 2 days, across 4,700 stores. The logistics question is, how do you restock that without ever running out or over-ordering? You don't forecast. You watch the shelf. When a cashier scans a box of cereal, the distribution center knows instantly because Walmart built its own satellite network in the 1980s. Before most companies had email, just to close that loop. They called it continuous replenishment, pioneered with Procter & Gamble, who got direct access to Walmart's sales data. Walmart stopped being a buyer and became a pipeline. Number 3, national parcel delivery systems operated by UPS and FedEx. UPS moves 25 million packages a day. No person decides which truck goes where. That routing runs the night before automatically through a system called Orion, and Orion has one job: keep drivers out of left turns. That's not a joke. UPS studied driver routes for years. Some routes Orion planned looked longer on a map. Number 4, large-scale air traffic control. Every pilot learns the same rule on day 1. Eastbound flights fly at odd thousands of feet. 2 planes can cross the exact same GPS point and never come within 1,000 feet of each other because they're on different floors of the same building. That rule got written into federal aviation regulations in the 1920s, when planes were made of wood and canvas. Controllers at the FAA's 22 en route centers spend most of their time managing transitions, planes changing altitude, or crossing into a new sector because the straight line portions are already sorted. Number 5, massive freight railroad networks. The U.S. Freight Rail Network covers 140,000 miles of privately owned track and moves roughly 1.7 trillion ton-miles of freight a year without a single centralized dispatcher. Each railroad runs its own territory and hands cars off at interchange points using an agreement that hasn't changed in its basic form since the 1880s. Number 6. Warehouse automation systems used by Amazon. Walk into an Amazon fulfillment center and your first thought is that someone lost their mind. There's no cleaning supplies aisle, no electronics section. The system is called chaotic storage, and it works exactly the way it sounds. Drop every item in the nearest open slot, log the location, let the computer retrieve it later. Number 7, national power grids balancing electricity demand. The U.S. power grid generates and consumes electricity at the exact same moment. No battery, no reserve tank. Every electron produced at a coal plant in Wyoming gets consumed somewhere within milliseconds, and the whole system runs at 60 hertz. Drop that frequency by half a hertz. AGC, a tool that sends adjustment signals to hundreds of generators every 4 seconds, 15 times a minute, across thousands of miles, nudging output up or down to hold frequency at exactly 60 hertz. That system has run this way since the 1960s. Number 8, large-scale agricultural supply chains. No federal agency decides how much corn to plant. No central planner sets the beef quota. The U.S. produces enough food to feed every American 3 times over. exports about 20% of what it grows, and hasn't had a national food shortage since the Civil War. Number 9, nationwide banking and ATM networks. There are 470,000 ATMs in the United States, belonging to hundreds of different banks, and when you use a Chase ATM with a Wells Fargo card, the transaction clears in about 2 seconds without a single human approving it. Number 10, cloud computing infrastructure. Amazon built a massive computing infrastructure for its own retail operation, and noticed that most of the time, most of it sat cold. In 2006, they started renting that spare capacity to outside companies, and that decision became a $90 billion annual business. In the 1960s, universities bought time on shared mainframes, running programs in off-peak hours, and paying only for what they used. The infrastructure is new. The economic logic is 60 years old. Number 11, container port systems. In 1956, Malcolm McLean loaded 58 metal boxes onto a converted tanker in Newark. Loading that cargo cost 16 cents per ton. The same cargo loaded by hand cost $5.83 per ton. The container itself isn't complicated. It's a steel box with standardized corner fittings called ISO corner castings, adopted globally in 1968. Before containerization, ships spent more time docked than sailing, and ocean freight rates fell roughly 60 to 70% between 1960 and 2000. Number 12, emergency response networks. When Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, 26 federal agencies, National Guard units from multiple states, hundreds of local departments, and dozens of NGOs all showed up. They couldn't talk to each other. The system that was supposed to prevent that was already written after catastrophic California wildfires. In 1970, the U.S. Forest Service codified the Incident Command System by 1974. Number 13, national telecommunications infrastructure connecting millions of users. The U.S. telecom network carries about 2.5 billion minutes of calls every day across fiber, cell towers, copper wire, and satellite links owned by dozens of competing companies. There's no backup plan. The network itself is the backup plan. Number 14, large-scale sports and event management systems. The largest NFL stadiums hold about 80,000 people and clear them out in under 2 hours without a crush injury. The engineering behind that comes from a Roman architect named Vitruvius around 25 BC, and it has one name, the vomitorium. Number 15. Public university systems serving millions of students. The University of California system enrolls 290,000 students. SUNY runs 400,000 across 64 campuses. None of it existed before Lincoln signed the Morrill Act in 1862 and gave each state 30,000 acres of federal land per congressional representative to fund colleges focused on agriculture and engineering. Your grandfather understood without a single college course. We didn't invent these systems. We just built bigger equipment to run his logic at scale.